he's a cancelthisshow.com fan and advertiser.
No.
Our friend Jonathan Heslop with Rockwood Charcoal. And he is never afraid to come on and talk. What'd you think of Brittany?
Hold on. He's the light guy for Platinum Rock Legends.
Whoa, wait a second. What?
Yeah, he's the lighting director of PRL.
I've even got an assistant now.
Wait a minute. So you've been demoted? You're an assistant, a full-on assistant?
No, I've got an assistant in the band now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got many assistants.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we pay
Jonathan Heslop. Hey, welcome to the show. Thank you for jumping in.
Great to be here.
And doing some advertising with us as well. You're no stranger to radio either. Promote what you've been doing, because the thing I love about you is that you're a super, super successful business owner, and we'll talk about Rockwood and the charcoal that you sell. But you've been a voice on conservative radio throughout the St. Louis area for some time.
A little bit of time on another station, and still doing some advertising with them. But before that, I worked as a pilot for Channel 2, 4, and 5. So got a little bit of exposure back in the day as a pilot. So just dabble in media, as well as charcoal and real estate and other things.
And lighting for Platinum Rock Legends.
And lighting. That
my
is
God.
the most important thing.
He's not very good at lighting, but he's great at charcoal.
Can I say something? I love charcoal. It's one of my favorite things. People may not
She
know
rolls
this
around
about
in
me.
it at night in her bed.
I'm very particular about my charcoal. I have a giant smoker that'll smoke probably 1,000 pounds.
Oh my God, this is going down
at a
really
time.
bad. Yeah.
And I order my charcoal online, and when they deliver it, it's like there's all these boxes outside of my front door. It's one of my favorite things, and it's so particular. You have to have the right.
Tell us about your product and where people can get it and why it's so good, bud.
Well, it's 100% Missouri product, and Missouri is the #1 state in the country for charcoal production, and it's because of the wood source. Most of all the hardwood that's used for flooring, cabinets, furniture, pallets, railroad ties, that all comes from Missouri and the Mark Twain Forest. So all the offcuts of that, all the pieces that can't be used, they're too knotty, warped, or can't be made into
That's interesting.
Yeah, all the pieces that can't be made into the hardwood lumber that's otherwise going to be thrown away, that comes to the charcoal plant.
Wow.
So we turn that into charcoal, lump charcoal, and then we ship it out all over the country. So when I started this, it was a little side business because I was a bored helicopter pilot. As fun as that job sounds, it's actually pretty boring because you're sitting around most of the day. And I started having all these kids and thought I got to have another little source of income. And this was just a little fun thing on the side. And next thing I know, it's all over the country, and it's the #1 consumer ranked brand for the last 9 years.
Yeah, baby. That's right.
Yeah. And it's coming up on the 10-year anniversary next week.
He is always at the governor's mansion too. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, we had some pictures with him at the governor's.
And you have lump charcoal, which is my favorite kind.
That's correct. Yes. So the briquettes have all kind of other nasty stuff in it. The briquettes were popularized by Henry Ford as a way to get rid of all the waste on the Model T assembly line. And now they use them. They put anthracite in them. They put starch, borax, sodium nitrate, a lot of limestone. There's a lot of rocks, gypsum in those briquettes. That's stuff that doesn't burn.
And lump charcoal is just that.
It's just wood.
It's just wood.
It's just wood. We've got
and that's what I use.
2 ingredients: wood and fire.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all that goes in.
Where do you sell? I mean, where can somebody go and find your charcoal?
So in St. Louis, it's about 120 stores. Just about any hardware store, butcher shop, any Deerberg, Straub's, a lot of stores like Wine and Cheese, Randall's, fine wines and food stores, and even some funny places sometimes, like transmission shops.
What
gun stores?
That's awesome.
If they want to carry it, they're more than welcome to. So,
and this kind of charcoal, and trust me, I search everywhere for charcoal. It's not the easiest to find. Usually, what you're going to find is the briquettes, and I only use the lump.
Correct. The briquettes are, like I said, are full of all kinds of nasty stuff, and they're cheap, and that's why they're so popular. But the problem is that half of those things don't burn. So you're buying a bag of stuff that doesn't burn. Whereas a bag of lump charcoal, if it's properly kilned, you're gonna burn the entire 20-pound bag, and you're gonna be left with a handful of ash.
This is fascinating. I had no idea.
So you're getting a lot more BTUs in the bag. Basically, you're buying a premium fuel rather than something.
And you don't have to
use
use the chemicals on it, and it's not
correct. Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst thing you can do is to use the lighter fluid on lump charcoal because it'll soak it up like a sponge.
What about farm stores? Are you located at any farm store?
Yeah,
Rural King Farm and Store? Any of those places?
RP Hearth and Home. That's more of an Illinois chain, but outside of St. Louis, it's in upwards of 10,000 stores. It's hard to keep track on which stores it's actually in at any given time, but you can find it at any Ace Hardware, RP Lumbers, like I said, RP Home and Harvest, a lot of food service distributors are starting to carry it now. And last but not least, even though we hate it, it's on Amazon. If you can't find it anywhere else, you can go on our website and buy it, or you can go to the.
Does anybody buy it on Amazon?
Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
Did it really?
I can
We
see that.
had 50 boxes ship out yesterday on Amazon.
Just because of Amazon?
And it's more expensive on Amazon because I've got to pay the man on there, and it's terrible. I
But
don't
what's
like
more- I mean,
selling on
what's
there,
the-
but I have to.
Why don't you like selling on Amazon? I'm just curious.
The amount of the percentages that
you
they
have to pay.
take. This could be a whole podcast on the evils of Amazon and what they do to small
yes.
businesses. But
Yes.
Well, the
mainly
next time you're on, we'll talk some about
yeah,
that.
because
Absolutely.
but it comes down to the advertising portion of it that I have to bid on my own company name on Amazon so that my competitors don't show up first when somebody searches.
But if it
for
sells
Rockwood Charcoal.
through them or it sells through you, does it really matter?
It's moreover, it's where the money's going.
I got to find out about this. That is
Yeah,
we got to
it
do
is
a whole
fascinating.
podcast.
We could do a whole.
Please.
Do
2
you
hours.
have a hickory version or any other versions?
So any Missouri lump charcoal that's going to be made here is going to be mostly oak and hickory because that's what's coming out of the Mark Twain forest. There can be other woods in there. There can be maple, cherry, pecan,
but you don't
things like that.
specify it. Yours is
No,
just
because
hardwood.
the way when you carbonize it properly to 80-85%,
Yeah.
there can be just about any wood in there. You're not going to tell the difference because
What?
the kilning process has cooked out all the volatiles in it that are going to produce any smoke. So charcoal is your clean cooking fuel, and then we also sell the smoking woods that you add back in.
Okay.
and that's what
all right.
that's where I was going.
There
with
you
that.
go.
Apple, cherry, hickory,
Yeah.
maple,
Right.
pecan, peach,
Exactly.
all those different smoking woods.
Interesting.
So you control then the intensity and the flavor profile by using those. If you're using a
Exactly.
smoky charcoal that's under kilned or a briquette, you can add as much apple in the world as you want. You're not going to taste it. You're only going to
Exactly.
taste what the charcoal tastes like because they didn't kiln it properly.
Well, I'm my big smoker. I use hardwood, just hardwood like what you brought in here.
Okay.
And then I throw in like some flavor for like the first hour, and then I go back to the
Okay.
hardwood.
Yeah.
Are you a big? I didn't even know that. Are you a big barbecuer?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Real? I did not know that.
She's a super smoker.
And you're doing it right because the meat or the protein that you're cooking only really absorbs that smoke for the first couple hours
Right.
until it hits a temperature, and then it really can't take anymore. So you're doing it, yeah.
So does that look like you would want to try that Rockwood?
Oh, I think that's what I have at home.
Really?
That's why I keep bending over looking at the bag. I'm like, I think that's
So-
what I
I was
do.
wondering what you
here's
did.
the
Keep
way.
I was like, what is she looking at?
If you don't, here's the way to check. Everybody that listening, here's how to check to see if you have good hardwood lump charcoal. Is take it out of the bag
Mhm.
and take a piece. If you cannot break it apart by hand, it is not properly kilned. You still have wood
Oh.
in the bag. You have a charred piece of wood. You don't have charcoal yet, so it should make a
You should be able to break it. in
Damn.
half.
break it apart by hand. If you drop it on the ground, it should shatter. It shouldn't go thud. If it goes
Mhm.
thud, it's still wood. It's wood fiber that's holding it together. And then wood fiber has water in it. So now you're paying for something that's more heavy. That's heavier than carbon.
It's fake charcoal.
You got it. Yeah.
It's
and
real charcoal,
And
Yeah.
that's what happened.
the original.
And what's going on is that the biggest threat to the U.S. charcoal industry, and which is primarily Missouri, is all the charcoal that comes in from across the border. And this stuff, they can go out, they can tear down the entire rainforest. There's zero laws enforcing. We can't take down a tree for making charcoal. We can only get the remnants of it. So
Yeah.
that somebody else isn't using in the logging industry. And then they have to have a plan to replant that tree. Down south of the border, you can take down a whole forest. You can use slave labor to do it. And then you can pump as much particulate into the atmosphere as you make that charcoal. So they have zero cost in production, basically. It's only the cost to get it into this country.
Yeah, it
So,
sounds like something from China.
yeah, it's mostly Central America, South America, where this comes from. And so all of our emissions are fired to 1,500 degrees to burn off the particulate. It's a very strict process in the state of Missouri. And that process, funny story, did not come into effect until Governor Carnahan's brother sold his charcoal plant. That's when the EPA was allowed to come to Missouri in the 90s and start regulating charcoal.
You'd like
in my history.
you're giving us fantastic lessons. It's at Chinooks, isn't it?
No, Deerbergs.
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 Okay.
Not
Deerbergs.
Chinooks yet. Deerbergs and Straub's. Or-
Okay.
Yeah, you can get it at either of those stores. And it's always the 20-pound bags now. It used to be just the 10-pound bags at Deerbergs. Now it's the 20-pounders.
Hey, Eric
Interesting.
talked about it. You become friends with Governor Parson, huh?
Yeah, a couple years ago, I'd been out there to go. So the Buy Missouri program, Governor Parson had started that when he was still lieutenant governor. For
Hey, Projo, can you
for,
please show the picture?
yeah, we got the family
Yeah,
up here.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
want to
show the picture where Parsons in the delivery room for his kids.
Oh, there we go.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was Monday night out at the governor's mansion. I'll give you one guess on what kind of charcoal the governor uses.
Heck yeah, he's using Rockwood.
Yeah.
I
So
would name my band Rockwood.
he had started the
Tonight
he
at the
started
pageant.
the Buy Missouri program when he was lieutenant governor, which we're all
I remember it.
Yeah, we're all in on the Made in America, Made in the USA programs and towns trying to buy local and everything. Well, this is kind of bridge the gap in the middle. That Buy Missouri is the name of the program.
What are some other products in Missouri that besides charcoal that he's pushing that you know?
A lot of part of the group. I was in the first dozen that was in the group, and then we expanded from there. It's up to like 500 now, and we had a show at the Rotunda in the Capitol last 2 Wednesdays ago that we got to exhibit. There was about 50 companies there, and it's all kinds of things from jams and honeys and meats and foods and everything. But there's all kinds of other a lot of wood products like cutting boards but I mean there's even squeegees are made in Lynn, Missouri. And I got one, and it works great in my warehouse for cleaning off.
Our drummer,
I just bought one.
Our drummer Patrick actually makes high quality. What are they? They're cutting boards, right?
Boards. They're fantastic.
He sells high quality cutting boards.
I'll have to get one.
Do you have any quick tips before we let you go about barbecuing, getting the charcoal ready, anything of that nature?
As far as everybody on the internet
timing
has a great way to do something, and they have their little trick of where you put the wood on the top or the bottom. I tell you, 90% of that stuff doesn't matter.
Amen.
It comes down to if you have a method that works for you, that's great. Don't buy into all of the little quick fixes and everything. Start with a good fuel. Start with a smoker that that you're experienced with, and then start with a good piece of meat. I mean, I'd say more than 50% of it is the actual piece of meat. That's what they say with brisket is the cow drives the cook, right? So. Those are the three things. Is start with the primaries.
And yours lights very easily. What I do, somebody on the comment line asked, well, how do you do it? I put just a small piece of paper rolled up, and I take one of your little briquettes, and like you said, they break apart. I break it in half and make like a little pile between my little paper and that. And then I put the other briquettes above it, and then it lights very easily.
You can do that. You can use a chimney starter. You can use little paper towel with some oil on it. I mean, you can use rubbing alcohol. Whatever you do, just don't use the lighter fluid because that's made out of petroleum byproduct.
It takes like an hour to burn off.
Yeah, and it soaks the lump charcoal is very porous. It soaks it up like a sponge, and that's what your food's going to taste like if you cook with that.
So I've been there, done that.
I've done that a million times.
It's not really a bad taste. It's just not good
don't use that. Don't anything but that. Personally, I use a torch. I can't put that on the website or advertise that the torch is the best way to do it because of the liability of it. But seriously, a torch, a heat gun, anything light fire with fire.
What about pellets?
That's amateur stuff.
That's what I thought.
I'm kidding.
Somebody was asking.
I will not use pellets.
I'm kidding.
I will not use pellets.
No, the pellet smokers were a great thing to bring people into barbecue because they're very easy to use. You set it, forget it kind of deal. As people have purchased those now, we've seen a lot of them come over to charcoal because they want the flexibility because the pellet grill, it's kind of like a smoky oven, especially the cheaper ones.
Yeah, I got one. You want it?
It's a smoky oven. Yeah. But
I hate it.
The better ones, the higher quality, the Yoders, the Smoking Brothers ones, you can do some high temperature grilling and other things on those.
What about those eggs?
They're great. Big Green Egg. That's what I learned to cook on as a kid. Long before anybody in St. Louis knew what they were, we had one, and they were $299.
But now they're $1,000,
and now they're $1,500.
$1,500.
Oh my god!
Grill?
Yeah,
it looks like a Weber only green.
I was a dealer for them for several years. I was a dealer for Kamado Joe. I love the Kamado cooking. They're fantastic, and you can cook you can do anything.
Can we do this before it gets too hot? Can we do a grill here? Can we do a barbecue here?
You can do one right outside. Yeah,
can we?
But
can we talk to Kevin?
Have a grill, we have a phone, we have a grill, and then we could do a segment.
And grilling and smoking.
Can we do that with one of your segments?
Because I believe Tabitha would knock it out of the park.
I am an excellent barbecuer, griller, and smoker.
We'll put you outside with Rockwood Charcoal, and we'll make it happen.
I'm a connoisseur. I don't know how to do it, but I will tell you if it's good or not.
And you're going to cook for Eric and I. Is that cool?
Is that all right?
That would be fun.
Can I tell you it sucks if it sucks?
Fun. Of course you can. But just so you know, I cook low and slow, so it's going to take a while.
Yes, that's the right
it's going to take a while.
Absolutely, low and slow.
Hey, by the way, you're jumping in. CancelTheShow.com. We'll have commercials running. Go ahead, try the charcoal, and then they can find it at those stores that you were
buy on
about.
Amazon.
Yeah, if nothing else, just go to the website rockwoodcharcoal.com, and you can if you don't have a store that's convenient, buy it off our website. Don't buy it on Amazon. You're going to save money if you buy it.
And if you want to see Jonathan in spandex and a wig, come out to Helen's this Saturday night. You think I'm lying, Vic?
I need a picture.
Vic, you think I'm lying?
I've seen him in spandex in the wig.
As have I.
I met Jonathan for the first time. He was wearing his wig and spandex, and he's like, dude, we went to the same high school.
And he has a better.
And I was there with you. I was standing with you.
And he's got a better in-ear system than I have. And he's the Jonathan. We got to have a talk.
We've had some fun. And you weren't at band practice last night. So
was there a band practice
he
last
was still
night?
hungover last
I guess
night.
you're not on the super secret text thread now. So
damn,
I am getting axed. I know it. I can feel it in my gut.
This one's for light guys and lead singers only. So
okay, that's fine.
Jonathan Heslop with Rockwood Charcoal. Appreciate you jumping in, my friend. Thanks for educating us when it comes to charcoal as well. What a show, guys.